Since a young and now we dream of getting rich.
So before I share my very shady interview with Ulta, I just wanted to give y'all a little backstory. I've been working at Sephora for almost a year. I'm looking for a second job because I want to get back into school, so I want to save up just a little bit. So Ulta called me in for an interview, and this is what happened. So I'm gonna tell y'all about this shady ass Ulta interview I just went on. First of all, the lady that interviewed me was fucking gorgeous. I was like, bitch, you work at Ulta? Anyways, we get there. She was like, I've been trying to contact you for a while. I fell in love with your resume. I'm like, girl, thank you, girl. You know, I be trying or whatever. So she started asking me questions, and she was like, so it says you've been at Sephora for almost a year. And I'm like, yeah. She was like, is that your current job? I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. We can try to change that, though. She said that. I was like, well, damn, bitch. Okay, we finna be shady today. Okay. So she started asking me questions about my other job experience, which is Pinkberry. And, you know, I was telling her why I left and all that good shit. She was like, which Sephora do you work at? I was like, the Michigan Ave one, the new big one. She was like, for it to be so new, it's already getting so many, you know, negative comments and negative feedback. I'm like, she was like, I know it isn't you. She was like, but people are saying once they go in, the girls are stuck up because you guys are in the middle of downtown. Once again, I'm sitting there like, I was like, well, I think the girls that work there are pretty cool, like they're friendly. She goes, well, maybe it's not the girls, maybe it's the managers. I was like, she was like, not to be offensive or anything, she was like, but you definitely look like an Ulta girl and not a Sephora girl, if you know what I mean. Now, if y'all don't know what she mean, it's a meme on Facebook, and it say Ulta girl is a real pretty girl and it's a Sephora girl and it's an old ass lady. But when she was like, I definitely look like an Ulta girl, not a Sephora girl, I'm like, you just throwing trees, bitch. Anything else? So I had changed the subject. I was like, you know, what's the experience requirements that you guys are looking for? She told me they was looking like for a lot more experience than what I have, but she was like, we are willing to train like the right person. I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, I think the reason I fell in love with your resume is because it reminds me a lot of myself. And she was like, I would have wanted somebody to train me. And she was like, and to be 100% honest, she was like, I really want to give you the position, but it's more interviews that you have to go on. She was like, so hopefully, she didn't say if, she said when they offer you the position, I hope you take it. She was like, because I know, you know, it's not a lot of young managers, and she was like, in here, that's what we're all about. Basically saying, like, if I go to Ulta, I'll move up quicker. Basically, that's what she was saying. And she was like, and, you know, from what you telling me, I can tell you're very ambitious. And she was like, and I know you tired of them Sephora checks. Bitch, when she said, and I know you tired of them Sephora checks, I damn near passed the fuck out. Bitch, you gotta. But since she brung up money, I was like, so, you know, how much would this position be? I get paid a good amount at Sephora. And at Ulta is more, so I was sitting there like, okay. I was like, oh, okay. She goes, and I quote, our employees can actually shop in our store with what they're getting paid. I forgot one thing. She was like, oh, you work on Michigan Avenue, the big one. That's where Ulta's gonna be now. I was like, she was like, oh, we're so excited to open that location. Like, we are going to take over Michigan Avenue. I'm like, you done? I wanted to ask her so bad. Like, did you used to work at Sephora? Like, who hurt you? Who hurt you, sis? You got to let that hurt go. So she goes, If you don't mind me asking, if you're working at Sephora, why are you looking for another job? I was like, to be honest, I'm trying to get as many jobs as I can handle because I want to get back into school, you know. Before I could even finish, she goes, "Oh, honey, I need you to come to Ulta because you only need one job with us." Like, I feel like she was a Suge Knight of Ulta. Like, if you don't want your managers dancing with you in videos, come to Death Row Records. Like, bitch. When I tell you I wanted to give this lady a Shady award, I'm a professional shade thrower. And she was way better than me. But yeah, that was my shady ass interview. She was saying a lot more, but it was a very interesting interview.